Hi, my name is Tommy Travis. Welcome to my IT Professional Toolkit presentation. This class is IT7833 Strategy, Policy, and Governance, taught at Kennesaw State University by Dr. Zingang Lee, Professor, Summer Semester 2019. This is my executive summary. Welcome to my IT Professional Toolkit. The primary purpose of this toolkit the purpose of my toolkit is to be a knowledge resource for myself. In addition, I have endeavored to provide valuable information for any other IT professional that may happen upon it while researching solutions to problems with IT projects or IT processes. To be clear, my intent is to provide an informative toolkit with IT techniques and best practices from different paradigms that I have experienced or researched, that me or any other IT professional may find useful on one or more occasions. An IT professional is a person in the information technology field who approaches their work systematically with an objective mindset. So next, I will summarize my IT professional background. Hello, many years ago, I started college early on. I am a non-traditional student, but during my early years of college, I was lured away, like many others, to a good paying job. Nevertheless, I returned to school years later and finished what I started. So currently, I have 2 undergraduate degrees, and I currently am working on an MSIT degree from Kennesaw State University. My IT professional career started in the wireless telecommunications industry. The IT industry was in its adolescence then, and wireless communication was a major branch trailblazing the path to the future of IT. During that time, I worked with or for some new enterprises, and I also worked with or for some enterprises that died off or were acquired during mergers. The enterprises that failed most commonly had poor IT strategies, policies, and governance. For about 15 years, I worked as an IT professional in various roles for most of the major wireless telecommunications service providers, which was in the wireless telecommunications field. In that time, I learned that the implementation of successful IT strategy, policy, and governance became the standard. As you can see by this graphic, I collected a few logos of the companies I've worked for. Um, I worked for Bell South, PCS, and Mobility. I worked for Singular. I worked for Sprint, Nextel, T-Mobile, Verizon, SBC, AT&T Wireless, and of course General Magic. But we'll get a little bit more into it. We're going to drill down specifically into General Magic because of their impact on the IT industry to date. My perception of the implementation of successful IT strategy, policy, and governance is that they are always similar. Uh, Unfortunately, I did not learn this until years later that one of the fundamental reasons for the standardization is mostly due to one failed startup company. That startup company was General Magic. General Magic failed so big that it influenced how the IT industry does business today. Uh, Posted on this page is their logo, is their second logo, because that is when I partnered with them. Uh, Google can provide, and in my bibliography, you can find resources to give you a wealth of information about their history. Posted to the right is General Magic's first logo. Their failures influenced how IT business is done today. General Magic was a spinoff of Apple, founded by the members of the original Macintosh team. Their goal was to create handheld personal computers or communicators. General Magic was undisputedly the first company to design and produce a handheld smart device, and they envisioned the smartphone technology 20 years ahead of its time. General Magic was and always will be a trailblazer, but unfortunately, history records it failed because of poor management IT strategy. They were always fluid because when they started, they were a research and development company. And when they came up with something viable that they could potentially make a lot of money on, they went for a home run and decided on a static strategic plan. While they were preparing for the release of the new technology, the IT playing field changed and they would not adjust their strategy. And that simply was their failure. IT policy at General Magic was not found during my research, but I infer that the secrecy was everything. They did not release any information to the general public that was not intentional. However, they gave updates to the Apple CEO. IT governance at General Magic was minimal. The startup company was comprised of mainly engineers who did not want any direct supervision. However, they did strictly enforce confidentiality. General Magic was a spinoff of Apple. As it was designed, it was nimble, it was agile, it could explore the new trends. During its research and development period, it created innovative products that proved its worth. But where they failed is when they achieved a big invention and they did not know how to manage the release of this new technology. They created an IT strategy, and while in the final stages of development, the internet emerged and would go on to be the most impactful technology in modern history. Their failure is because they did not pivot and take advantage of the internet. They failed because they were not agile. Now, exploring current IT strategies, policies, and governments, I want to take a look at IT strategy by Dr. Harvey Hyman. He believes that IT strategy describes an action plan to be executed. That means to me that the IT organization goals require a solid strategy, strategic thinking, and strategic management. I have come to believe that an organization cannot have one without the other if it wants to prosper. Take take the well-known company Amazon. This global enterprise started up as an online business in a man's garage. At some point during Amazon's early development, they adopted the vertical integration strategy, which they have committed to and still employ today. Combined with their business policy of the ability or the willingness to drop products and or ventures that do not inhibit their core strategies, this has made Amazon the global powerhouse that it is today. IT policy. This, to me, is a written word that guides all strategic and governance of an enterprise. The policy drives the service level agreements, management styles, and the agenda. I work for an IT company that has a policy that is uh, LGBT friendly, and no harassment or tolerance is allowed. They implemented this so that all of their employees can be comfortable. Let's look at IT governance. Dr. Harvey Hyman also believes that governance is a construct for describing a structural organization in place to handle governing of whatever system, process, or software project is underway. This to me is a necessary, particularly in IT enterprises, because the business landscape can change quickly. And some companies choose to remain agile so that they can shift with the changes. As I mentioned earlier, Amazon is a good example of IT governance. In less than 2 decades, they went from a company uh, uh, of one to a company of employing hundreds of thousands. To achieve this, they had to have a solid IT policy and governance. Also, in the June of 1990 article by Davenport in Short, they understood and discussed in detail the changing landscape of IT process. Considering this article was written prior to the birth of the World Wide Web and prior to the failures of General Magic, their business process and redesign methods, which asks the fundamental questions: how IT business processes, how IT support business processes, and how can business process be transformed using IT. My most impactful IT professional experience was with my former employer, Alltel. Unfortunately for me, I chose Alltel over a competing offer from another wireless company. My reasoning at the time was Alltel had the largest wireless network with the most subscribers. They were profitable and privately owned. So I thought they weren't going anywhere. But unknown to me, they had a hidden IT strategy, IT policy, and IT governance. Within a year after starting my role, Alltel was acquired by Verizon. And overnight, they became the largest wireless carrier. And several short years later, I was laid off as a surplus employee. It was the most impactful experience because I learned to start examining potential new employers by more than what is seen on the surface. Additionally, that marked the beginning of my long and transitional exodus from the wireless telecommunications IT industry into the software-based IT industry. From my experiences and the lessons of this course, I learned that it's important for an IT professional to be diligent and to look for the preeminent signs that a new IT role or new business partner or new client is right for you. I summarize that my focused into several points to consider about your new prospective employee, partner, or client. Number one, consider their background. Knowing their background, if you know where they're coming from, it's a lot easier to project where they are going. Look at their IT strategy. Is it solid? Is it current? Is it common sense? Look at their IT policy. Look at their IT governance. Are these two consistent to what current policies and standard practices of IT policy and governance are? Uh, and finally, will this new role, partner, employer, or client help you achieve your career or business goals? Now, those questions are subjective to each individual, but they have to be asked and have to be answered. And whatever your answer is, that will clearly indicate to you whether the next move is right for you. My post MSIT goal is to acquire and maintain several streams of income. As a highly educated IT professional with first-hand experience and knowledge of good and bad IT strategies, this has enabled me with impressive credentials. I may consider teaching as well as software consulting. My individual professional strategy for now is just to stay on course. My toolkit is more akin to what not to do. Think of it as a roadmap detailing my memorable experiences and how I came to be where I am today. I do not take my position in life lightly. As an IT professional, you will and have learned that the compensation is good and you can have a lot of good times. However, stay focused. As an IT professional, recognize that you have marketable skills, and one should always endeavor to have multiple streams of income. Never become complacent, and in addition to constantly studying to stay current on technologies, you must stay tuned to business trends. If you are employed by an employer, stay very tuned to their business climate. Last but not least, always give some of your time and talent to charity. This concludes my IT professional toolkit presentation. Please find me on LinkedIn at the link on your screen.